Hey guys, Gaming Off the Grid here. If you've been following the channel for a while, you know we play retro games all the way to the modern stuff. But there are some things about modern games. Whoa, they're just a pain in the old nugget pouch. What are we drinking today?
Today we're drinking Lemon Blueberry Bar by Backpocket Brewing Company. It's a sour brewed with lemons and blueberries.
That sounds delicious. You know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring that bell icon so you never miss an upload, and sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and let's talk about the annoying things with modern video games.
Hey everybody, DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, and you're watching Gaming Off the Grid. Remember, everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
All right, here we go. Kind of a rant of sorts. We cover a lot of retro gaming on the channel, but we cover modern stuff too, because we still play modern games. We have a PS4, we have a Switch, hoping to get an Xbox One here pretty soon.
Fingers crossed.
But it's very hard to argue that the things we're going to cover in today's episode aren't just a pain in the nuts. And I don't understand it.
I don't get it either, because modern gaming is awesome, and I feel like a lot of people are gaming. But there's so many things that are so annoying about it, and it kind of pisses me off, you know?
Let's start off with the first thing that comes to mind, and that's no inserts in the games. For the most part, there are no manuals, there are no posters, there are no advertisements for the next game coming out. The only thing you may get as a little tiny nugget is like a download code because you bought the game the day one edition, you know?
And that's it. I mean, if you buy the collector's edition or you spend extra money, you can get those extra things.
Yeah.
But back in the day, you used to get all that kind of stuff with the purchase of a new game. You used to get a poster, you used to get a postcard, you used to get all these cool things with the game, and nowadays you open it up and it's just empty.
Hey, maybe game companies advertise the next game you have coming out.
Yeah.
Give us something.
Come on. That's what frustrates me so much, is just opening a game and there's nothing.
It's hollow.
Like, what's the point of even making a case then?
It's $60 and you just get a freaking hollow case. It just seems half-assed. Why? Because they can. But it sucks. It's stupid. That's one thing about modern gaming that I can't stand.
Let's move on to the next one, and this is so frustrating. When video games come out modern, they're not ready. Every time you buy a new game and it's modern, you put it in, oh, guess what? You have to wait 2 hours because it has to download an update. What? Why is there an update when a game just comes out?
Yeah.
That's so dumb. And also, why are there patches? Dude, release a game that's complete. I get if it's an online game, you're patching it, you're updating it.
Yep.
But if it's just a normal game, why is there patch? Why can't the game just be complete?
Feels lazy. It feels like they're taking advantage of the technology that they have. They feel like they're able to get it to the market maybe a little quicker, but it's just a pain in the ass, especially in our situation. We'll get off work, rush home to play a game, beat it, and get a review episode out by the next morning. And, Res 3, was it just a download key, basically?
Oh,
I think that's what the disc was.
Res 3 was a prime example.
What was it, 45 minutes to an hour to download a fairly small game? Why can't I just put in the game that's brand effing new, that I paid full price for a 5-hour experience, and it doesn't work? It's
so stupid. I don't get it. And what's another thing that's frustrating is we don't play modern games that often. I mean, we do here and there, but say we go back to a game we haven't played in a couple months, we have to wait a couple hours because there's updates.
Yep.
Like, it's just like, come on.
Yeah, and it's, like with retro stuff, you just put the cartridge in and boom, you go. And if a developer released a game that was broke, guess what? They didn't sell very many of them because everybody talked about how it sucked. Now they can scramble, which ultimately might be better for the consumer because there might be a chance they can fix a broken game, but it's just an annoying thing, especially when you're trying to play on the go and just get things done. It drives me insane.
Another thing that drives me insane is when you put in a modern game, most of them feel like they hold your hand and they're super easy. Like, I don't ever feel accomplished beating a modern game. I mean, there are exceptions. Mega Man 11, Cuphead.
Yeah.
These are hard games, and when I beat them, I was like, oh my god, I did it. I finally beat the game. Resident Evil 3, for example, that's the most modern game we've played. It just kind of holds your hand, and it's like, when you beat it, it's like, oh, it's over. Okay, I feel like anyone can do this, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely not, the badassery's gone, I feel like, for beating most games. Now, like you said, there's an exception to every rule, but for the most part, a lot of modern games to me just feel like a war of attrition. Some of them where I get into where I feel like the games are too long. I've mentioned that before on the channel. 100 plus hour games. They only take that long because there's so much content. It's not because the game is hard.
Yeah.
I miss that, and I still get it when I go back and play retro games. That when you beat a game, getting up and you're just like, dude, I'm a badass. I feel like a badass.
Well, what's crazy is games nowadays, 100-hour plus games, yeah, they're not that hard. But say Contra 3, for example, that game is 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
But when you beat it, you feel like a badass because it's hard as hell and it took you freaking weeks to beat it.
Yeah.
Just because it's a long game doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Just because it's a short game doesn't mean anything. I don't get why they're making them easy.
I don't know.
I
think I might be more engaged to, tackle a longer game like that if I was constantly having to perfect the nuances and things like that. But it seems to me like I'll get like halfway through a really long game and I just get kind of bored because it's just rehashing the same shit over and over. And it's just like, I'm just in a new area. I just I gotta loot, gotta get all this stuff. Gotta
rinse and repeat.
Yeah, it's just kind of because there's so much space on the disc and they just recycle stuff. I just don't feel like a badass when I beat a lot of modern stuff. So that's a big complaint.
Yeah, that's a huge complaint. Now, this one is frustrating, and we actually were talking to a buddy, Megadin29, about this, and he brought this up, and he's like, dude, that is a good point. Why are digital games the same freaking price as physical games? That doesn't make sense. I get that you're not getting the inserts with physical things now, but you're still getting a physical media game, Yeah. You're still getting the disc, you can still put it on your shelf. Why is the digital the same price,
Because they're raking us over the coals. That's the only answer. It's just a bunch of horse shit. There's no way the resources for the case, the insert, the disc making, the printing on the disc doesn't cost money. So $60 for this physical game at Best Buy, $60 for this digital download game over here. Doesn't make any sense.
And you don't actually own it. I mean, you do own it, but it could go away.
As long as your hard drive doesn't fail,
yeah,
you own it.
So that's another thing that I don't want to get started on. But it's just, that doesn't make any freaking sense. And going back in with the money, a lot of modern games, when a game comes out, $60, that's normal price for a modern game. Give it a year, dude, the price drops on modern games so quickly, especially at garage sales. You could find a modern game that came out, people beat it. Next summer at the garage sale, you can get it for $5.
Yep.
Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they don't hold their water.
They don't hold value.
Well, a lot of it is because I think there's not much replay value to a lot of
Yes, there's not much replay value.
There's not many modern games you beat where you're like, man, I got to keep my chops up on that. I need to beat that game at least every year to stay good at it.
Yeah, I don't remember the last modern game I played where I was like, hey, I want to keep playing this, It's just, it's frustrating. We got one more thing that's super freaking frustrating and annoying about modern games, but let's talk about this beer.
This is another beer from Backpocket Brewing out of Coralville, Iowa. We just did their peanut butter Oreo stout. This is a sour beer. It's called the Blueberry Lemon Bar, right?
Yes.
This is a very, very good beer. It's so weird because it's a sour, but there is a very bready, I can almost taste that crumble of a blueberry lemon bar with some blueberry and some lemon.
Tastes like that crust of a lemon bar.
The crustation.
Oh, it's so good. It has that nice tart from a good sour.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, this beer is so good. This is another beer that we couldn't stop drinking, and we only had one left, so we're sharing it because it's so good.
It's a fantastic brew. Backpocket, I feel like this is a part of kind of a series because the cans were done in the same way, and some of their other stuff hasn't been released that way. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but they came out around the same time in our area, and this is really good. If you ever stumble across this, if you like lemon blueberry bars and sour beers, yes, sir.
Yeah,
this is a very good beer.
Highly recommended. This is so good. Now let's move on to our last frustrating thing. And a lot of people complain about this, and that is microtransactions. Cha-ching.
Yep. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Money.
The almighty dollar. It'll get us all if that's what we're chasing, right? And that's the only thing you're after, especially when it stands in the way of making a quality product. The game that probably stands out to most people when you bring up microtransactions is Star Wars Battlefront. Was it 2?
I think it might have been the second one.
Yeah, so whatever the newest, whatever one they released on modern consoles, but they microtransactioned it to death. And games that use microtransactions to gain a competitive advantage, it just spoils the game.
And it just ruins it for everyone because even if I had the money, I don't want to keep buying money and then to win. It's just like, dude, I don't even want to play this if I have to pay to win or pay to play, basically.
EA Sports has ruined their sports franchises because of it. FIFA, Madden, etc. Same type of deal. I believe I may be wrong in saying this, but I think like the NBA 2K games have kind of went down that road too, where you gotta buy these packs and these players and all
And
this
you
stuff.
can't just...
To be able to be competitive if you want to play the game online, and that's stupid.
Yeah, and it's so frustrating because back in the day, you just had to play it long enough to unlock that things.
Yeah.
One game that I'm going to get probably some hate for bringing this up that does microtransactions right is Fortnite. Games like that, you know, it's a free-to-play game. If you want to put money into it, it's fine, but it doesn't give you any advantage.
Yeah.
You can just buy costumes or songs or whatever. I haven't played Fortnite in years, but I know that it doesn't give you any advantage. You can put money into it if you want, but who cares? You're still the same as everyone else that's playing.
Yeah.
I think that's when microtransactions are good. But most games, just if you have to pay to win or pay to play, it's stupid.
Yeah, it creates an unfair playing field, for one. It also doesn't push the developers to make a better game for the next release, I feel like, because they can go to their bosses and say, well, you know, last year's Madden generated X millions of dollars. Did it because of sales, because of microtransactions? You just have people in the palm of your hand. It's just a nasty thing. It is really taking advantage. It is. It's corrupt. It's taking advantage of the consumer. It just doesn't feel right, and it's very annoying.
Yes, dude. Modern gaming, there are some great games.
There are, for sure.
We love it. There's definitely some perks. But man, every time we play a modern game, we gripe.
Yeah.
We could just be getting old and, you know,
crotchety.
Yeah, but it's frustrating. And I don't know if other people are experiencing the same things that we are, but it's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, we play the hell out of our PS4 and our Switch. Full disclosure. But we definitely still play our retro stuff more because this stuff is just a pain in the nuts. And there just isn't the gratification. That's the main thing. There's just not the gratification.
There is one thing that I just thought of that I want to bring up because it's super frustrating, and it involves the PS3 and the Xbox 360. The sign-in crap. It just doesn't make any sense. It's so confusing because, like multiplayer, you sign into an account, you have your second player sign into an account, and then it unsigns you out for some reason, so you gotta re-sign in, and then the save file is on his name, but if you're not signed in as player one, you can't access the save file. It's like, what the hell?
Just let me play the goddamn game.
It doesn't make any sense. That's just another one I wanted to throw in there. It's so frustrating.
Every time I feel like Harry from Dumb and Dumber, it's just like, just give me the goddamn number!
For God's sake, just give me the damn number!
Anyways.
It's on fire.
Yeah. Guys, tell us in the comment section below, are we just getting old? Are we losing a step here? Or is modern gaming got some really annoying shit?
It does.
We always appreciate you tuning in, subscribing to the channel. We'll see you next time right here on Gaming Off the Grid.
Yep. Bitch.
You know we like all things gaming related. Even modern rent.
Modern rent.
Rent. Yeah. Okay.
Modern rent.
Hey guys, Gaming Off the Grid here. If you've been following... What are we drinking today?
Today we're drinking Lemon Blueberry Bar by Backpocket Brewing Company. It's a sour. The font is so small.
Well, get some glasses there, Grandpa. Grandpa.
It's a sour.
Grandpa.
Grandpa Railroad.
If your grandpa's name is Paul, is it okay to call him Grandpa?
That's my grandpa's name.
Is it?
Yeah, Paul.
Is it really?
Yeah, I'm not even kidding.
Do you call him Grandpa?
I call him Grandpappy.